to another segment of Math with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany, and today we're going to be working on factoring polynomials. Okay, so let's get started. So here is our problem. Okay, so the problem you see here is 9w to the 5th minus 24w to the 4th plus 16w to the 3rd. So that's what we do first, is we write out the problem. Next is we need to take the lowest power away from this equation here that you see. So we want to take the lowest power. So the reason for that is because if you take a higher power, like w to the 5th, that's kind of hard to take away from some of these whole numbers and from some of the other powers. Like you can't take 5 away from the power of 3, or else it'd be like a negative number, and that'd be hard to deal with. So that's a common mistake lots of people make, is they don't take the lowest power and it ends up making the problem more difficult, and odds are you won't get the right answer because of how difficult it will be. So that's a common mistake. And so what we want to take in this case is the lowest one, and for this one, the lowest one is 16w to the 3rd. And we don't keep the 16, we just take the power of 3. So we'll just move w to the 3rd down here. Okay, so there's w to the 3rd, and we'll put a parenthesis right here. Okay, so the next thing is we want to take w to the 3rd away from the other powers in the equation. So what we're going to do is 9w to the 5th minus w to the 3rd. So you don't do anything to the whole number here. We're just going to take away from 9w's power, so which is 5. So we're going to do 5 minus 3. And 5 minus 3 equals 2. So this becomes 9w to the 2nd power, as you can see right here. Okay, now the next one is negative 24w to the 4th power. So what we want to do is, again, not do anything to the negative 24, but we're going to be subtracting it's to the 4th power from the power of 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. But instead of doing negative 24w to the 1st power, that wouldn't look right. So we're just going to do negative 24w. Because just, 1w equals negative 24w instead of negative 24 to the 1st power. So the next one, we can't really do anything to the 16 because we already took away its w to the 3rd. So it would just be plus 16. Okay, then you put your parenthesis here. So what you see here is you have an a value, which is 9w squared, the b value, which is negative 24w, and the c value, which is 16. And this is the numbers we need for our answer. We need an a value, a b value, and a c value. So what we need to do is factor this out for our answer. And in order to do that, we need to use FOIL. So the first step is we need to find multiples for 9. So what are some multiples for 9? Well, 3 times 3 equals 9, so that's some multiples here, 3 and 3. 1 times 9 also equals 9. And I think that's it. So now we'll move on to 16. We're not going to do multiples for the middle number because we're trying to find the middle number with these multiples. So now for 16, we can do 1 times 16, which is the most obvious one. 4 times 4, and 8 times 2. Wait, there. Yeah, 8 times 2. Okay, fix that 8 a bit. Okay, so we need to choose one multiple from this side and one multiple from this side. And so what we're going to do is choose one from each side. I think that the right multiples would be from the 9w square side would be 3 times 3, because 3 times 3 equals the 9w square, so that will give you your 9w square. The other ones won't really give you that, so I think that's why it's going to be that one from that side. For the next side, I think it's going to be the 4 times 4 multiples, because the reason being is because if you used 8 times 2, it would just give you an extra w, and we don't want an extra w, because in this equation you see up here, there is no extra w. There's only one w, which is negative 24w. So that's why we can't use 8 times 2. So we're going to use 4 times 4 because it will give us exactly what's up here. So, okay, so now let's do the 4s. And let's see, what sign are we going to use? Plus, plus and plus, plus and minus, minus and plus, or minus and minus? If we use plus and plus, it'll give you the positives for the a value and the c value, but for the middle number, which is the b value, it's going to give you a positive b value. And we want a negative b value, so that's not going to work. If you do plus and minus or minus and plus, you're going to get negative a and c values, but you want positive values for those. So we're going to have to do minus and minus, because a negative times a negative is a positive, so that'll give you a positive a and c, and a negative plus a negative is a bigger negative, so that will give you your negative b. Okay, so we're going to put 2 minus signs, and now we're going to distribute. So first we do 3w times 3w, which equals 9w squared. Okay, so that's right. We get our a value. Then we're going to do, let's see, negative 4 times 3w, which is negative 12w. Okay. Then you're going to do 3w times negative 4, so this one times this one, and you're going to get negative 12 again, w. And then you're going to do negative 4 times negative 4, and you're going to get a positive 16. Okay, so now we have to kind of finalize this. So we're going to combine negative 12 and negative 12. So what's negative 12 plus negative 12? That would be negative 24, and then since we got the w's, w. There. So our answer is correct. So for our final answer, just erase some of this. Okay, so our final answer is going to be 3, so w to the third, and then 3w minus 4 to the second. We can do w to the third, then the parentheses 3w and minus 4, and then do another parentheses 3w minus 4. But it's just easier to do the square because it just it's a shorter answer. But you could also write it out as this as well. That's the 3 there. But as you can see, this answer is much simpler to write out and takes less time. Okay, so that's your answer for this problem. Thank you for watching, and you can check out my next segment. Bye!